Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Level Up Cleveland. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification buttons so you never miss an episode.
In the rock and roll capital of the world, other genres emerge. These guys are capturing the sounds of our city in Signal Flow Studio, right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we'll be talking with Jake, Chris, and Dante about recording music as a business and what well-known artists Signal Flow's working with today. We got Signal Flow. I'm Big Bry, and Level Up Cleveland starts right now. All right, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Cleveland. And down here in the studio today, we got some guys from Signal Flow. Signal Flow is a recording studio right here in Cleveland. Today down here, I got president, owner, creator of Signal Flow, Jake Jekyll. And he brought with him today his vice president, Chris DeCola, and manager of Signal Flow, Dante Sprosty. Everybody, thanks for coming down here.
Good to be here.
It's interesting. People get to see that we really do have recording studios in Cleveland. You don't have to go to Nashville. You don't have to go to L.A. or wherever people think they have to go. You could actually get it done right here in Cleveland. That's why I have you guys here. I want people to actually see that there's places here to get stuff recorded if you think you can do it. You guys do have kind of more of a specialty thing. You guys will record everything and everybody, but you guys definitely have
a lot of hip hop.
Yes,
record a lot of hip hop, R&B, trap rap, stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you guys? How do you go about doing that more? So is it more so that you guys come up with the beats and you create that kind of for them?
We could supply the beats. A lot of the rappers that we work with bring their own beats. They have their own producers.
So you guys like specialize in a certain thing more so. But
a lot of vocals.
So do you guys do you find that it's hard to get people to? I mean, is there a huge supply of people coming to you for this?
Yeah. It's pretty busy. There's a line out the door for sure. There's a lot of everyone wants to be a rapper.
So the thing about this kind of thing that I think is interesting would be more so like when you're doing this kind of thing, you guys have a lot of people that are coming through here. Obviously, not all of them are going to be great at their craft. A lot of them think they are. And that's got to be the hardest thing to do in this whole thing is you got to stay professional. You know, sometimes you're going to have that guy that's great and he's going to come in, he's going to blow your socks off. You know, some guys are going to be, well, you know, he's just another, but then you're going to get the beginning of American Idol.
Yeah.
You're going to get that guy that comes in here.
Yeah, you have that. I think a big part of it is like helping an artist like manage their expectations. You know, when you got someone who's just absolutely dynamite, you're talking, okay, how are we going to get this in front of 1 million people? Like your next step once you walk out of this room has got to be X, Y, Z. You got to find people for this. When you got your first American Idol kind of guy in there, your expectation is like, okay, let's get through this song. Let's make something that you're proud of. And then, you know, maybe we'll hit the drawing board on track 2.
Yeah, because I think that's where the real work is, right? I mean, like with those guys, it becomes more of like that's work. When the guys are really good, it almost seems like it should flow well. Everything's like, wow, this is like what? But when it's not going well, that's when, you know, you got to put on the face and you got to be like,
Those
well,
sessions are a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, that's the toughest part about doing this whole thing. Now, do you guys find yourself also producing these, or are you guys more so engineering, or are you guys giving pointers and trying to increase the, you know, the level of the quality of the songs along the way, like a real producer?
Yeah, definitely taking on the producer role as well as engineering.
How do you feel like, what's the response to that? People responding well to your guys' production, and is it?
I always get a lot of response that, like, not a lot of engineers out here in Cleveland are doing that, like, going forth and doing the production as well as the audio engineering. So a lot of people love it. A lot of people like it. They want our 2 cents in their music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because you think it's not always like that. You know, some guys come in here and they just think that all their ideas are already mapped out and perfect and don't know, you know, and you know in your heart of hearts they're wrong, especially when you've been around it's hard to deal with some of those kind of people. I know, but but it's nice to hear that actually people want to be guided through it. And when you think about it, like some of these huge bands, and I know this isn't hip hop, but like a Metallica, right? They're like the top of their game, kinda. And then they go out and they get a guy like Bob Rock, who's the top producer at the time. And the reason you do that is because you have to give in and say, I really don't know everything. I need a producer. I need people
it takes
who
a village.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need people who know what the hell, I need this certain kick, and I don't know how to get that kick. There's so many beats, How do you make your beat different? And how do you guys deal about that? Do you guys have like a signature sound, something that you could say where people could go, that's Signal Flow?
There's a couple of them for sure that I think Jake pioneered, especially like the low pass. Using that is like definitely a staple, just kind of like a filter that we'll drop the beat into.
Makes it sound like it's underwater almost.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And we'll chop it up. I mean, if we hear like a lot of beat breaks in it, we'll chop it up, slow it down, do a little reversal, stutters.
I like
and
doing the stutters. A lot of people like that too. Like vocal stutters almost, where you like chop their voice.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. That's I know what you mean. I hear it. You hear it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
That's cool. Do you guys get is it, how do people get in contact with you? Is it, and I was saying not really the contact stuff, but what do you find? Is it word of mouth? Is that really what it is? One guy goes out, he's like, really had a good time with these guys. These guys really did a good job. And then he tells.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, for a long time it was like that. It was just word of mouth. I mean, I don't even think I made business cards for like the first 4 years of Signal Flow's career. We never really made too many flyers. I've tried, but it never hit the same as word of mouth. Word of mouth was always our thing for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't really, you didn't see the impact as much really because
like I would offer something to my clients like if you bring me someone and they purchase studio time off me, you would get a free hour.
So you guys are going your 9th year now?
This January 8th will be 9 years, yeah.
And it started off just you basically? Is that how it really basically started? It was
there was a group of us. I didn't do it by myself for sure. Angel Vasquez was there. He's still around the picture. There was a couple other guys that just aren't around anymore. But it wasn't by myself, no.
So you always had some help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As I remember, you've been here at the studio, down at the studio
even before Signal Flow. I had rooms down here. I've been in this building for 16 years or so.
Right down here at level 5
yeah.
building.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you guys now been a part of it? When did you guys come into the picture, and how did that all kind of come about?
Dante came in his senior year in high school.
I think I might have been a junior actually. So I was.
What year did you graduate?
Or 2016.
So 2014 is whenever Dante came in. 2014, 2015.
Oh, fairly soon then after, not that long.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I think I was about to turn 16 when I, first came down. I was, 15 still or whatever, and I had known Jake from way back. He played guitar in a band called Lies in Ruin, and, just through the neighborhood, mutual friends skateboarding and stuff, and just my buddy Mike Eckert brought me down here with Mike Berry. He's, a really talented local artist, Trip 7. And I started coming down back then, and we would just kind of, the battle rapping, aspect of the city seemed like it was a little bigger back then, or more people were kind of doing it around here. It seemed
pretty popular for sure.
So there was a lot of battle rappers, and so even back then, Jake and Angel were going to events and supporting the local scene and just really putting on, and that was something that really inspired me from that young of an age, because I always had a love for music and stuff. So I was just man, these dudes are really trying to do it for the heart of it, and and that was something that from there, it was just kind of watching them help develop these other artists' sounds and just make them better, and it seems just as time went on, more and more people kind of really came together and started helping with the vision, and it was crazy.
So did you learn all your chops down here? Did you get all your, or did you have some recording experience at 16? I mean, it seems kind of unlikely, but.
So back then, I actually started, I was sitting in on a lot of sessions with Jake, and he was just teaching me how to organize this session in Logic, and just kind of I was just helping him hit record here and there and stuff, and I think I just didn't really get into the whole mixing realm of it. I just kind of like helped with like tracking at first and just from being around and stuff, and would help with like a lot of shows and stuff. Like back then, like Jake's always been in and out of bands playing guitar, still in a band, you know, and just killing it and stuff. And so, I mean, that was like back then, like I was really trying to help like with networking and stuff. And that was like kind of something that I always really had a vision for, just trying to like bring circles of friends together and just like
Dante brought in a lot of artists and a lot of clients. Pretty much whenever he first came in, we were like trying to recruit people for a street team. And street team was just like kind of just like helping us spread the word and have extra guys around the studio for like grunt work almost. And he's just been along ever since. And so, yeah, he would sit
So
down
his
and
due
session.
diligence is what's got him this far, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
He's the master of networking.
He's the master of it,
He's
yeah.
constantly expanding the circle.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, we all need to talk to you.
Everyone needs a Dante, really.
And what about you, Chris? What's your background look like? How did you get to this point?
I was doing my own operation, recording for a long while, and I decided to move out to Los Angeles. And when I moved out to LA, all of my people needed to find a new studio. I believe they met none other than
Dante, yeah.
the master networker himself.
Well, so Hotel, shout out Hotel. My buddy that been skateboarding with for a long time and stuff, and he's a really like talented graffiti artist, and he went to school together, skating all the time, and he brought me down to the Huff House, and like one of the old ones too, like no walls in there. Like
It was fucked
like
up.
I remember walking down that street at like 1 a.m. and I was just like, shit, we're here, but like
Walk quickly.
I don't know if we should be type shit, you know? And it was like very not a good neighborhood and shit. And yeah, man, like it just kind of, I started seeing just all of them, like their whole circle of people, and just like that was kind of, I guess, like, and I guess it's still the vision and always was, just a collective of like artists in general, you know? So like a lot of graffiti artists and a lot of different people that play different types of stuff, and just like, I mean, even like our homies have like a band that just like has a live painter all the time, just like painting on the stage and stuff. And it's like, I feel like that's really cool to really put other people on that are passionate about their craft too.
Yeah, different kind of art.
Other
Exactly.
artists.
Yeah.
That's real. That's becoming a common thing. What you're talking.
Kind of my background. We were a punk house. We had shows in the basement. Bands from around the country would come in, and you know, you could find us on the DIY pages. But I went out to LA, and so all my people needed a place to record. Through Dante, ultimately, they end up coming here. When I came back here from Los Angeles, I wanted to get my own operation going again, but now all my people are here, and Jake was trying to convince me, hey, man, let's join forces. At first, I
Just
didn't want
come
to do
work
it.
with me, man.
At first, I was kind of stubborn. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of want to, you know.
Which I understand. He wanted his own thing. I had my own thing. If I were in Chris's shoes, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, you know, so I had to think about it and whatnot, but eventually we did go out one time up to Gino's, and he laid it all out for me again. He said, we're all in the same trench. Let's help each other out of this.
Gino's, where many contracts are,
Yes.
are made.
Yes, wheeling and dealing in the back corner of Gino's, Santoano. And I got in my car, and I was like, I'm saying yes to that guy. And that was the best decision I've made for my career. We've accomplished a lot together, and I'm
Yeah, I mean,
mega grateful.
for sure with Jake, for sure, there's a passion there, and there's a drive that you got for sure. I mean, I
appreciate that, man.
I don't even think people even need to know you well to know that exists. Just to see the volume that you're down here, and I mean, I know the story, but I don't think everyone does. I mean, you definitely have a massive passion for this, and
I love it. I love this shit, man.
All right, we're going to take a break right there. It's going to be our first break of the day.
Cool.
And when we come back, we're going to talk to Jake, Chris, and Dante a little more from Signal Flow right here on Level Up Cleveland. We'll be back.
Want to be a guest on Level Up Cleveland? Go to levelupcleveland.com and submit a guest application or call 1-888-626-9277 extension 0. Leave your name, the name of your band or your performing act, phone number, email address, and briefly tell us why you would be a good guest on Level Up Cleveland. We would love to have you on.
I've seen it since you did all this shit.
There's only so much you can do in this building, you know?
So you just built the wall right up to this thing here.
Yeah.
That's slick.
Yeah, now this is just like a storage closet. Because the Studio B, where Studio B is now, used to be like a big ass closet for us, but we built Studio B there now. So now we threw a bunch of shit out, and now we kind of, this is just storage. We keep all of our microphones in there, because typically we try to have every engineer come in to a clean slate. So whenever you do your session and you're leaving, you have to put whatever microphone you used in the booth back. You have to zero out all the dials. You know what I mean? So every engineer comes into the same thing every session.
How many guys you got working here?
There's me and Chris as the head engineers. Then there's Dante and Winston, who pretty much typically just working, or there's Dante and Winston, who pretty much typically work in Studio B. And then Dante and Charlie, they work in Studio A. So there's 6 of us total.
Narrator.
And then Narrator is the in-house producer. You guys know Narrator.
I've never met a Narrator, man.
He's the in-house producer, so he just kind of he does sessions too. He's an audio engineer, but he's like kind of like prominently a producer. Just kind of cooks up beats all day for a lot of our clients. And then there's Dante, the manager. So there's 8 of us total. And it kind of is a lot. I couldn't really think of it. Yeah.
Team from ground.
What's the Studio B looks like? Do you mind?
Yeah. Come on. Go to this is Charlie.
What's up, dude?
Hey, how you doing?
We just got done doing a podcast with them, so they got a camera. They just want to check out the studios.
This is cool, dude, man.
And then the booth is right there. Studio B is mainly for vocalists. It would be kind of dumb to bring a band in here, but you could record guitars and bass in here, but you can't really do drum sets or like horns, or I guess you could do horns.
Do you have a live set up in here at all?
We do the live stuff in Studio A, but it's not really like set up. The band's kind of bringing their own equipment, and or we do have an in-house drum kit, but I would recommend bringing your own for sure.
Yeah, I got you.
It's good for production in here too, though. Like,
Yeah,
especially like sunny day, got the sun coming through.
natural lighting. Like
Natural lighting
everyone
feels
loves the
good in
natural
here.
lighting.
Just getting the beats going away. It's cool.
Yeah, our other studio's got 2 windows. You got to have a window.
Oh yeah, feels nice.
It's a big difference. Cool, man. This is beautiful. You guys really did a nice job. You did a lot.
Thank you, man.
You guys did a lot.
Yeah, you should have seen it before.
Well, I haven't been back here before, but I mean, we were up in the main area before, and even that's looks really good, man. Cool. All right. We're back here at Level Up Cleveland down here with the boys from Signal Flow Studios. I got with me Jake, Chris, and Dante. And we've been talking about how they kind of got their start, how they got their legs and stuff. And now what I want to talk about a little bit is where you guys are at now. Like, you guys have done a lot of recordings, a lot of people. Anybody that has done, like, of all the people you recorded, who's kind of done the best?
I think Chris can take this one.
Probably an artist that I work with called Tropidelic. We did a record with them last year called Of Illusion, and we're working on the second one right now. And those guys, they tour like 250 days out of the year.
I think they had the #1 reggae album in the world.
It's reggae.
Yeah, reggae, hip-hop kind of crossover. Like, they've been doing it for a long time, and I've known those guys for years and years and years, too. But they finally, after releasing a lot of records, came over to me and said, hey, we kind of want to go a different direction. So I took a lot of what I've learned through hip-hop, working with artists and my own, passion with it and whatnot, and sort of started to cross over their sound with some contemporary, like, hip-hop sounds, right? Like trappy 808s and hi-hats and stuff like that. Yeah, we hit #1 on the iTunes charts for reggae.
Really?
One, yeah. So we're working on the next one, and I've done some work with people from LA who have come over here, from Miami. We got an artist from Charleston coming up in January now. So, yeah, I'd say Tropidelic probably top dog as far as actually putting out work and getting out there on the road and doing it. They just got back from the road. They were doing a cruise. They got some pretty cool shows coming up as well.
No kidding.
I sometimes work with Doughboy. Doughboy is signed to Future's label. He's a rapper. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Future. Future owns a label called Free Bands, and he signed Cleveland artist Doughboy. I don't know what year it was, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Right after that, he went to jail, and I worked on a couple projects for him from, like, stuff that he recorded at other studios. They all sent it to me, and I mixed it for a couple of his mixtapes. Then he got out of jail and worked with him a couple of times since then. But he's probably the biggest artist that I've worked with, but not as big as Tropidelic.
Really? When you say, now, how does it work now with you guys? I mean, like, now that the industry is so not like it used to be as far as selling music goes and stuff like that. Basically, like you said, iTunes is that's pretty much how you sell songs now, right? I mean,
Streaming, really.
Streaming.
I mean, it's all streaming,
So-
which pays pennies.
That's what I mean. It's like it's literally like nothing, right? I mean,
insane.
it's so hard to make money selling your
you have-
music.
you
You
have
got to
to
gig,
tour.
right? Don't you have to gig? Isn't
have
that
to
the only
tour.
way to do it?
Certainly, or you got to look for placements. I mean, if you're going to put it on Spotify and you want to see some kind of return on the investment, you are looking to get on a Spotify playlist, a big one. So you got to hire someone to get in touch with curators who put these playlists together.
BSR recently did something like that, and we've been doing great.
Yeah, they got a song that you guys just passed 15,000 streams on it. Mm-hmm. That's on a playlist, right?
And we have 5,000 monthly listeners, which we've never had before.
Wow.
It works. It works. For
So
sure.
so there's this breed of people who are using the internet with both their connections and their resources to get you on playlists and run your advertisements all over the world, and they handle all your analytics and whatnot. There's a company called Blue Avenue Media, and I've recommended a couple of clients their way. Shout out to Jenny Powers, who is the main agent there. We actually ran some ads through her too, which was a little bit different because we're not an artist, we're a studio.
Right.
But she does great work, and so her job is to get, your content in front of people, eventually end up on playlists and stuff like that. But if you're just throwing it on Spotify, Apple Music, you can throw it on every platform, and you're just hoping, okay, let's see how the numbers do. You're not making money. You're just not going to.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, you got to hope to get viral.
During the interview, a couple of times, the guys mentioned that you play guitar and you've been in bands and that
Yeah.
kind of thing and stuff, and that you're currently in a band. Dante mentioned
Bittersweet Revenge.
Bittersweet Revenge. We do plan on having Bittersweet on here in a couple weeks, so we'll really get in.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, we'll get in depth with them. Bittersweet was opening up for Mushroom Head there for a while. The big always.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mushroom Head did a lot for us.
yeah, you guys have definitely made your ranks and moved up the ladders in the Cleveland scene. And but I definitely want to get. But that is the band that you're in case anybody's wondering.
Yes.
Because we were talking about that and everything. And where are you guys at with that right now? Are you guys? Is there anything in the, like right now, gigs or anything planned with?
We're playing a gig at Avenue Tap House in Lakewood, December 18th. And we're working out some shows in Canton for February. We just don't really have anything set in stone for that yet.
As you guys are doing this, you guys got a lot of people in there. I'm sure you got a lot of characters that come in and out of the studio. A lot of things that have happened. Anything in particular you guys can talk about character-wise where you find somebody that's just hilarious, or you guys like a repeat guy that comes in, or maybe there's something that you just guys are hilarious. Stories, anything funny.
Probably the funniest character in our studio is Toby Raps. Toby Raps is
That's his name.
Toby Raps. Yeah,
I love it.
You'll never meet anyone else in the entire world like Toby Raps.
Represent him real quick with that.
For example, one time I was at Nelson Ledges with him, and I think he just got on the show like last minute. Troubadouric was playing Sunny Days. It was back in April, I think. Toby just got on the show like last minute. He was out there. I was out there kind of just chilling for the weekend for like a vacation kind of thing, and he was like, "Hey Jake, I'm playing the show. I'm gonna be on main stage. I need someone up there to play my music. Can you DJ for me?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go on stage." I rolled up a couple joints and went up there and smoked joints on Nelson Ledges' main stage for him, and it was really fun.
Cool.
Toby wore a dress and nothing else under that dress, and he did some funny things. He was mooning the crowd.
So he had nothing on, zero. So he just lifted up the dress and
Literally
it was all bare ass.
He did the worm and exposed everything. Exposed his worm, I suppose.
Oh, that could hurt. Doing the worm with just the dress.
I didn't
Worm
ask
is
him if it
not.
hurt. I'm sure it did though.
Well, Nelson's Ledges, you wouldn't know till the next day. I've been there.
If you remember,
many
yeah.
times, good times.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's about to watch this. Like, I did what?
Yeah.
He knows.
All right, guys, it's been an awesome time. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with us.
Appreciate you, Brian. This has been
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Signal Flow, I will put everything down in the description. We'll have a bunch of links down there, getting in touch with you guys and stuff like that as far as how to get in touch with you guys. They want to record with you guys or whatever. We'll have all that in the description below. All right, guys, this is Level Up Cleveland, and we are out.
Thanks so much.
And that does it for another episode of Level Up Cleveland. We hope you enjoyed it. Check out the links in the description below for everything Signal Flow and Level Up Cleveland, and you can always hear the interview in its entirety on the Level Up Cleveland podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. See you next Monday when we talk to North Coast Rockers RPR. Level up, everybody! I'm in a bag.